Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Y&R Trends. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Spoilers for the next 2 weeks of The Young and the Restless point to some unexpected developments. For starters, Lily Winter's Crystal Khalil becomes more receptive to Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. Lucas Adams' character Noah Newman encounters Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. Additionally, Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, is criticized by Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue to read. Victor Newman vs. Sienna Bacall. Let's talk about what will happen between December 8th and December 12th, 2025, before moving on to the two-weekers. Sienna and Noah have been rescued from Matt Clark, also known as Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth. For now at least. Matt is undoubtedly not giving up just yet. Noah wants Sienna to accompany him back to Genoa City in the interim. Sienna feels unsure because Matt isn't there, but Noah will probably convince her. Victor then wishes to have a private conversation with Sienna. The man makes an effort to make up for Sienna's complete loss. Sienna doesn't want to stop seeing Noah either, even realizing it's a bribe. Fans will discover what Sienna desires. The reunion of Noah Newman. Noah will reunite with his loved ones after returning to GC. But the young man will also encounter a former acquaintance. It's none other than Audra. With the exception of Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, Audra has lost everything and everyone at this point. When Audra sees her ex-lover, how will she respond? Is it possible that Noah will have to decide between Sienna and Audra in a love triangle? Additional expectations. What else can be anticipated in the coming week? Kane extends an invitation to Lily to join him at the launch party for Abbott Communications. Perhaps a relationship is feasible after all, as it is hinted that Lily begins to warm up to Kane. Victor will carry out his plan to assault Jabot once he gets back to GC. Will Victor still be able to achieve what he wants though if Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, orders the business offline? The week of December 15th to 19th, 2025. There will probably be some drama at the launch party, according to spoilers for the next 2 weeks of The Young and the Restless. Victor may attack Sally and Billy Abbott's, Jason Thompson, new business if he is unable to reach Jabot. Additionally, Audra and Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, have a rivalry. Claire is well versed in Jordan's Colleen Zank techniques, so Audra had better exercise caution. Additionally, it appears that Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, think about their future. In Genoa City, chaos often brews beneath polished floors and billion-dollar smiles, but nothing compares to the emotional hurricane that begins swirling as whispers spread that Sienna is preparing to leave Noah and reveal a devastating secret. One so explosive that even Victor Newman steps into the shadows to negotiate a deal that could change everything. Sienna has never truly fit into the Newman orbit. She's always been the unpredictable element, the wild card Noah tried to tame. The woman carrying wounds so deep she could barely control the storm inside her. But the more she hides, the heavier her conscience becomes, and now with cracks forming in every direction, Sienna feels the walls closing in. For weeks she's battled the truth alone, terrified of losing Noah yet unable to bear the weight of deception any longer. Her guilt has grown unbearable, her lies expanding like a balloon about to burst, and now she knows she is out of time. Noah senses something is wrong long before she confesses anything. He notices her sleepless nights, her jumpiness, the way she watches him with a look that mixes longing and heartbreak. But Noah, still scarred from past relationships and tragedies, keeps telling himself he cannot afford to imagine another betrayal. Unfortunately, this time the betrayal is already rooted in reality, and its repercussions threaten not just Noah but the entire Newman family. Sienna decides she must make one final attempt to set things right, even if it destroys her. Her first step is telling Victor, because whether she wants to admit it or not, the man who rules Genoa City like a king holds the power to either bury her forever or save her from complete ruin. Victor is accustomed to dealing with corporate traitors, hidden agendas, blackmailers, and schemers who think they can outsmart him. But Sienna is different. She is not just another adversary. She is tied to his grandson. She is threaded into the emotional fabric of his family's next generation. And Victor cannot stand the idea of instability spiraling around Noah again. When Sienna calls him and begs for a private meeting, Victor already has a feeling she is about to drop something monumental, and he rearranges his schedule without hesitation. They meet at the Newman Ranch behind closed doors, where Sienna trembles in front of him like a candle flickering in a storm. She tells Victor through stuttered breaths that she is planning to leave Noah. Not because she wants to, but because she has to. The secrets she's been carrying are too heavy, too dangerous, and once Noah knows the truth, he will never forgive her. Victor, arms crossed, eyes sharp as blades, listens without interrupting, his silence louder than any threat. Sienna finally blurts out the core of the secret. Something connected to her past, connected to the child she claimed was Noah's, connected to lies stacked upon lies that could implode every relationship tied to her. But Victor is not shocked. The Newman patriarch saw holes in her story long ago. What shocks him is the depth of the duplicity, the people involved, the motivations, and the potential fallout. Victor immediately realizes that if this goes public, Noah will be devastated beyond repair. Nick will spiral into rage-fueled protection mode. Sharon will be dragged into another crisis she does not deserve. And the Newmans will once again become the center of a media nightmare. So Victor decides to act, not out of pity, but out of strategy. He tells Sienna she cannot leave Noah without first revealing the truth. But she cannot simply explode the story in Noah's face either. If she does, the results could be catastrophic. Instead, Victor offers her a deal. A carefully structured, highly calculated, Newman-style deal. Victor promises to help shield her from the legal consequences of her actions, to protect her from outside enemies who might use her mistakes as leverage, and to ensure she is not completely ruined in the public eye. But in exchange, she must tell him everything, every single detail of the secret she has been hiding. And she must agree to handle this situation in a way that causes the least damage to Noah. Sienna hesitates. She does not trust Victor. Who does, really? Yet she knows he is her only chance of escaping total destruction. And as she looks into his eyes, she sees something she didn't expect. Not kindness, but a sense of responsibility. A genuine desire to preserve Noah's heart. That is what makes her finally cave and reveal the entire truth. Victor listens to her full confession, each detail worse than the one before. The room grows colder with every revelation. It is a truth that could fracture the Newman family, reshape Noah's future, and put Sienna directly in harm's way if the wrong person hears it. But Victor, being Victor, immediately begins forming a plan, rearranging pieces on the invisible chessboard only he can see. Sienna, emotionally drained, feels both relieved and terrified. She tells Victor she cannot keep living like this. She cannot look Noah in the eyes and pretend everything is fine. She cannot carry a secret that eats at her soul every waking moment. "I'm going to leave Noah and tell the entire secret," she whispers, voice broken. He deserves the truth. But Victor shakes his head and tells her that running is not the answer. Not this time. If she vanishes, Noah will spiral, chasing her, demanding answers, wrecking himself trying to understand why she abandoned him. Sienna cries harder because she knows he's right. Every choice she makes hurts Noah. Every truth she hides crushes him. Every lie she told was in the name of protecting him. And now all those lies are coming back like ghosts demanding payment. Victor sits across from her, his posture steady, his voice low and powerful as he outlines the terms of the deal. Sienna must follow his plan step by step. She must give Victor time to prepare for the fallout. She must allow him to gather resources, manipulate circumstances, and neutralize threats. Only then can she sit Noah down and tell him the truth. But when she does, Victor must be present. Not because he wants to control Noah, but because he intends to protect him from emotional collapse. Noah, who has already endured heartbreak, violence, fatherhood confusion, artistic crises, and identity spirals, cannot take another devastating blow alone. Victor vows that he will guide his grandson through the aftermath, no matter how ugly it gets. Sienna agrees to the deal, but her anxiety skyrockets. The thought of telling Noah the secret terrifies her. The night she must face him looms like a thundercloud. She returns home unable to sleep, unable to think of anything except the fear of losing him forever. She rehearses what she will say over and over, but every version sounds hollow. Noah deserves the truth, but he also deserves stability, peace, and loyalty. Things Sienna has struggled to give him. Meanwhile, Victor begins executing his strategy quietly, pulling strings behind the scenes, positioning allies, gathering intel, preparing for the moment everything collapses. He knows the truth cannot stay hidden much longer. The walls are closing in. Enemies are circling. If Sienna doesn't tell Noah soon, someone else will. Someone who won't care about protecting him. And so the countdown begins. Sienna wakes the next morning with a pounding heart. She watches Noah sleeping peacefully beside her and feels guilt coil like a snake in her stomach. She whispers an apology he cannot hear. She touches his face gently, knowing this might be the last time she gets to feel him so close. The moment feels impossibly fragile. But Sienna is done running. She is done hiding. She gets up, dresses slowly, and prepares for the confrontation that will end their relationship as they know it. However, just as she is about to begin packing her things, her phone buzzes. It's Victor. His voice is firm, commanding, and absolute. Do not speak to Noah yet. Plans have changed. Sienna's blood runs cold. She demands to know why, but Victor refuses to explain over the phone. He orders her to meet him immediately because something new, something dangerous, has entered the equation. Someone else has discovered part of Sienna's secret, and that person is preparing to use it. And suddenly, Sienna realizes her nightmare is only beginning. Sienna's panic surges as she races to meet Victor, her mind spinning with dread as she imagines who could have uncovered her secret and what they might do with it. Genoa City is filled with people who thrive on chaos, people who will weaponize gossip, pain, or truth if it benefits them. When she arrives at the Newman Ranch, Victor is waiting for her in the study, his expression grim in a way Sienna has rarely seen. That alone tells her the situation is even worse than she feared. Victor begins pacing slowly, hands behind his back, and Sienna feels like a child being scolded by a stern headmaster. But Victor isn't angry, he's calculating, thinking 10 steps ahead, trying to protect his family from another incoming storm. He finally reveals the terrifying news. Someone has been digging into Sienna's past, specifically the part involving the baby she claimed was Noah's. That someone is prepared to expose the truth publicly, not out of concern for Noah, but to destroy Sienna and destabilize the Newmans. Sienna's knees nearly buckle. She begs Victor to tell her who it is. Audra? Adam? A reporter? One of the people she crossed before she came to Genoa City? But Victor refuses to reveal the name yet, saying the situation is too unstable, and revealing the identity prematurely would only put Sienna in more danger. What matters now is containing the threat before it explodes. Sienna starts hyperventilating, terrified not only for herself but for Noah. She knows if the secret gets out through someone else's mouth, Noah will never forgive her. Everything she and Victor plan will collapse. All the strategic cushioning Victor wanted to put in place will be meaningless once the public gets a hold of the story. And the Newmans will be dragged through scandal again. Victor tells her they have only one option left. Accelerate the plan. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, instead of grooming the situation into something manageable, Sienna must tell Noah the truth tonight. No delays. No rehearsals. No hesitation. Because if they wait even one more day, the narrative could be ripped from their hands. Victor's voice is calm but firm as steel as he tells her that Noah deserves to hear the truth from the woman he loves, even if it breaks him. Sienna trembles, her stomach twisting violently at the thought of destroying Noah's world so abruptly. But she knows Victor is right. She has lied for too long. She has hidden behind fear for too long. And now reality is forcing her hand. She nods weakly, agreeing to tell Noah everything that night. But Victor warns her that he will be there. Not to control her, but to support Noah through the shock. Sienna agrees, though a part of her fears that Noah will break down even more with his grandfather in the room. Victor, however, is unwavering. He knows Noah's patterns, his emotional extremes. He knows how quickly Noah can spiral. And Victor refuses to let that happen again. As Sienna leaves the ranch, she feels as if she is walking toward the end of her life as she knows it. She drives slowly, gripping the steering wheel so tightly her knuckles turn white. She rehearses the confession in her mind, but every time she imagines Noah's face crumbling with betrayal, she breaks down in tears. She loves him. That is what makes this unbearable. She pulls into the parking lot of Crimson Lights, trying to calm herself before going home. But inside the coffee house, she spots Sharon wiping down tables. Sharon looks up, immediately sensing Sienna's distress with the intuition only a mother possesses. "Are you all right?" Sharon asks, and Sienna almost collapses into her arms. She wants to tell Sharon everything, but she can't. She's not allowed. Yet Sharon's calm presence, gentle tone, and maternal energy nearly shatter Sienna's resolve. Sharon tells her she looks pale, shaken, lost. And Sienna whispers, "I'm about to hurt Noah in a way he'll never forgive." Sharon freezes, worried instantly, asking if Noah is in danger. Sienna shakes her head. Noah isn't physically at risk, but emotionally, spiritually, his heart is about to be torn open. Sharon tries to comfort her, urging her to communicate honestly with her son and not make choices rooted in fear. But Sienna knows Sharon has no idea how deep the truth goes. She pulls back, apologizing, insisting she needs to go home and prepare for a difficult conversation. Sharon offers to call Noah or stay nearby, but Sienna refuses and escapes the coffee house before she loses control. As she steps outside, her phone buzzes again. This time it's a blocked number. She hesitates before answering, fear slicing through her like a knife. A distorted voice whispers, "Tick-tock, Sienna. You're running out of time." Her heart drops into her stomach. Someone really is watching her. And they're enjoying this. She hangs up immediately, shaking violently. She drives home in terror, the world spinning around her. When Sienna arrives at the apartment, Noah is painting in the living room, losing himself in his work the way he always does when his emotions run hot. He looks up and smiles when he sees her, but the smile fades quickly. He can see something is terribly wrong. He sets down his brush, approaches her slowly, and asks what's going on. Sienna's breath catches in her throat, but she tells him they need to talk. Really talk. Noah grows tense instantly. He has been through too many "we need to talk" moments in his life to misinterpret the meaning. He asks if she's leaving him, his voice cracking slightly, but she shakes her head. Not yet. She explains that Victor is coming over because she has something big to confess. Noah stiffens, anger flashing across his face. "Why is my grandfather involved in our relationship?" he demands. Sienna tries to calm him, but Noah feels violated already. Victor controlling his life, his relationships, his emotions. It's a pattern that has haunted him for years. And now here it is again, wrapping its fingers around his heart. Sienna begs him to trust her, saying she needs Victor there because the truth will shake both of them. Noah grows pale, his mind racing, thinking of 100 worst-case scenarios. Did she cheat? Was she being blackmailed? Is the baby not his? His voice trembles as he asks, "Is there someone else? Tell me now." But Sienna tells him the truth is even bigger than that, and far more destructive. Noah collapses onto the couch, burying his face in his hands, breathing hard. Sienna sits beside him, wanting to touch him, but too afraid he'll pull away. The tension in the room becomes suffocating. A heavy fog neither of them can escape. Minutes later there's a knock at the door. Victor enters, bringing a grave seriousness that makes Noah stand. "If this is about controlling my life again," Noah snaps, "you can leave." But Victor calmly shakes his head. "I am here," he says, "to support you. Nothing more." Noah doesn't believe him, but he sits anyway. Sienna begins trembling uncontrollably. She tries to speak, but no words come out. Noah reaches for her hand, desperate for reassurance, but she pulls away. The gesture alone breaks him more than any accusation. Finally, after several agonizing breaths, Sienna begins confessing. She tells Noah the baby story wasn't exactly what she claimed. She explains that someone dangerous from her past has resurfaced. She reveals that she lied to protect Noah from becoming entangled in a criminal mess he had no idea existed. She tells him everything, each detail worse than the one before. Noah listens in horror, each revelation punching a hole through his chest. His face contorts with disbelief, betrayal, and devastation. He asks how she could lie to him about something so life-altering, so deeply personal, so intertwined with his sense of family. He stands up and starts pacing, shaking, unable to breathe. Victor watches closely, ready to intervene if Noah spirals. Sienna keeps going, tears streaming down her cheeks as she exposes the entire truth. By the end, Noah is trembling with rage and heartbreak. He finally says, voice hollow, So everything between us was built on a lie. Sienna falls to her knees, grabbing his leg, begging him not to say that, insisting that her love for him was real even if the circumstances were not. But Noah pulls away as if burned. He looks at Victor, asking how long he knew. Victor responds honestly. He suspected, but he only learned the full truth today. That does not comfort Noah. He feels surrounded by betrayal, drowning in it. He punches the wall, shouting that he should have known better than to trust anyone, that he should have listened to his instincts. He storms toward the door, ready to flee, but Victor blocks him gently, telling him running will not fix anything. Noah breaks down crying, something he hasn't done in years. Sienna sobs as she watches him crumble under the weight of her confession. She reaches toward him again, but he whispers, "Don't touch me." Victor leads Noah to sit, grounding him, steadying his breathing, helping him through the emotional collapse. Sienna remains on the floor, broken, shattered, destroyed. She whispers that she understands if Noah wants her gone. And he finally answers with tears streaming down his face. "I don't know what I want. I don't know if I can ever forgive you. You took away my choices." The room becomes painfully silent. Noah can't look at her. Sienna can't stop shaking. Victor can't pretend this can be fixed with a few comforting words. Because this isn't just a lie. This is a life-altering betrayal. One that could permanently end Noah and Sienna's relationship. And the worst part? The person threatening to expose the secret still hasn't made their move.